where we break down the latest motorcycles to help you make the best choice for your next ride. Today, we're diving deep into the 2025 Kawasaki Vulcan S, a bike that's built for urban riders, beginners, and even experienced cruisers who want a practical daily motorcycle that still turns heads. The Vulcan S has always walked the line between sport and cruiser, and this year's update keeps that legacy alive, while refining the formula in some smart ways. Let's take a detailed look at what's new, what stays true, and whether the 2025 Vulcan S should be your next bike. A cruiser that doesn't fit the mold. The Kawasaki Vulcan S isn't your traditional cruiser. It doesn't follow the blueprint set by Harley-Davidson or even some of its Japanese competitors. Instead, Kawasaki took a more modern approach, borrowing the engine from the Ninja 650 and wrapping it in a frame that leans more urban cruiser than long-haul tourer. That core philosophy hasn't changed in 2025. What you get is a middleweight cruiser that feels accessible, nimble, and refreshingly different in a sea of chrome-heavy bikes. The 2025 model continues this identity with refined ergonomics, subtle styling updates, and performance tweaks that keep it fresh. The Vulcan S isn't pretending to be a V-twin or a classic bagger. It's a bike for people who value comfort, performance, and city-friendly practicality over tradition. Design and styling, subtle refinement. Visually, the 2025 Vulcan S doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it does get a few updates to keep things fresh. The bike now comes in two new color schemes, a deep matte graphite with neon green accents and a more traditional metallic black with silver trim. These new liveries highlight the bike's sporty DNA while keeping it tasteful. The headlight is still that unique, elongated shape that helps the Vulcan stand apart. The frame remains exposed, and the sculpted tank gives it a muscular, athletic profile. It's more urban warrior than laid-back cruiser, and that's a good thing if you're looking for something different from the retro-heavy competition. New for 2025 is LED lighting all around, including the turn signals and tail light. This not only modernizes the look but improves visibility and safety. Fit and finish are also improved, with better paint quality and cleaner welds noticeable on closer inspection. Engine and performance, still a parallel twin powerhouse. At the heart of the 2025 Kawasaki Vulcan S is the tried and tested 649 cubic centimeters parallel twin engine, the same unit found in the Ninja 650 and Z650. Kawasaki has tuned this motor specifically for cruiser duty, delivering strong low and mid-range torque while keeping top-end power usable. For 2025, the engine retains its key specs, around 61 horsepower and 62 Nm of torque, paired to a smooth 6-speed transmission. The result? A cruiser that doesn't feel lazy. Acceleration is brisk, throttle response is predictable, and the bike is happy to rev if you want it to. Whether you're overtaking traffic or carving through twisty backroads, the Vulcan S offers a level of responsiveness rarely found in the cruiser class. It's not just power that makes the engine special, it's how manageable it is. This bike is beginner-friendly without being boring. There's enough grunt to satisfy intermediate riders, but it won't intimidate someone just getting into motorcycling. Comfort and ergonomics, the ErgoFit advantage. One of the Vulcan SS standout features continues in 2025, Kawasaki's ErgoFit system. It allows riders to adjust the foot peg positions, seat, and handlebars to better match their body size and riding style. This level of customization is nearly unheard of in the cruiser market, especially at this price point. For shorter riders, you can bring everything closer. For taller riders, you can stretch out more comfortably. Whether you're 5 feet 2 inches or 6 feet 4 inches, the Vulcan S can be tailored to suit you, and that makes a big difference on longer rides or in day-to-day commuting. Kawasaki hasn't drastically changed the seat height, it still sits at a low 705 mm, making it incredibly approachable. The seat itself has been slightly reshaped for 2025 to offer better support on longer rides. Combined with relaxed geometry and a well-padded saddle, the Vulcan S remains one of the most comfortable bikes in the middleweight category. Chassis and handling, a cruiser that corners. Handling is where the Vulcan S truly shines compared to other cruisers. Thanks to its sport bike-derived chassis and relatively light curb weight of 229 kilograms, 505 pounds, the Vulcan S feels agile and composed, even in tight corners. The 2025 model keeps the same 41mm telescopic fork-up front and adjustable preload rear monoshock, but Kawasaki has reworked the damping slightly for a smoother ride over rough pavement. The bike remains planted at speed and surprisingly flickable for a cruiser. If you're used to heavy, slow-steering V-twins, the Vulcan S will feel like a revelation. Braking is handled by a single 300mm front disc with a dual-piston caliper and a 250mm rear disc, supported by ABS as standard. While it's not superbike-level braking, it's more than enough for daily use and inspires confidence. The feel at the lever is progressive and smooth, even under hard stops. Technology and features, just enough. The 2025 Vulcan S doesn't go overboard with tech, but it includes everything you actually need. The updated LCD dash is now sharper, with better contrast and a more modern layout. It still includes essential information: speedometer, tachometer, gear position indicator, fuel gauge, and trip meters. One big addition this year is Bluetooth connectivity via Kawasaki's Rideology app. This lets riders track ride data, monitor maintenance schedules, and even locate the bike using a simple mobile interface. It's not full smartphone integration like you might find on premium touring bikes, but it's a nice step forward that adds everyday convenience. Traction control and riding modes are still absent, which is consistent with the Vulcan SS focus on simplicity and affordability. For most riders in this category, the lack of electronic aids won't be a deal-breaker. Practicality, a commuter and weekend cruiser in one. One of the biggest strengths of the Vulcan S has always been its versatility. It's just as happy doing short urban commutes as it is stretching out on a weekend highway cruise. With a 14-liter fuel tank, the range is around 250 to 300 kilometers, 155 to 185 miles per tank, depending on how you ride. Maintenance is straightforward, with accessible components and a well-documented service schedule. The chain drive is a nod to the bike's sportier side, and while it requires more upkeep than a belt, it also provides more direct power transfer and easier gearing changes if you decide to modify the bike. There's also a wide range of factory and aftermarket accessories, windshields, saddlebags, seats, and backrests, making it easy to personalize the Vulcan S to your riding needs. Whether you're building a city bike, light tourer, or stylish weekend cruiser, the platform is flexible enough to support it. Price and competition, where the Vulcan S stands. The 2025 Kawasaki Vulcan S continues to offer excellent value. While pricing varies by region, it remains competitively positioned at around $7,999. That places it below many of its V-twin cruiser rivals, while offering better performance, handling, and ergonomics. Competitors include bikes like the Honda Rebel 500, Yamaha Bolt, and Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650. While the Rebel is a strong beginner bike, it lacks the Vulcan's adjustability and power. The Bolt feels more traditional but also heavier and less refined. And while the Super Meteor offers great value, its weight and touring focus may not appeal to city riders. Overall, the Vulcan S strikes the right balance between modern features, comfort, and sporty performance, all without breaking the bank. Final thoughts: who is the 2025 Vulcan S for? The 2025 Kawasaki Vulcan S isn't trying to be all things to all riders, but it gets remarkably close. It's ideal for newer riders who want a comfortable, confidence-inspiring cruiser that won't bore them in 6 months. It's also perfect for commuters who want something stylish and fun that's still practical. And for experienced riders who just want a lightweight, no-nonsense bike for weekend rides, the Vulcan S delivers. With its adjustable ergonomics, sporty engine, urban-friendly handling, and reliable performance, the Vulcan S continues to carve its own lane in the cruiser world. It doesn't rely on nostalgia, it builds its own identity. And in a market full of throwback designs, that's a bold move. If you're looking for a cruiser that performs more like a naked bike and offers real-world comfort and usability, the 2025 Kawasaki Vulcan S deserves a serious look.